Good morning. It is another episode of Badass Love, Real Clients, Real Results. What? I'm so excited to introduce you to my client of the week. This is Tara Scarfia. What's up, Tara?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Where are you? Looks like you're in a gym and you've got this beautiful backdrop back there. What's happening?
So I'm super excited. This is what I call my dojo in inspiration from Cobra Kai. I love that show. I wanted a little sanctuary of my own, especially when COVID hit. And once I lost most all of my weight, I finally got the opportunity to do so. So in place of my car in the garage, I printed out a Disney World background from one of the resorts because I
Awesome.
envisioned myself working out there before a park day in the next year. And I had my Peloton, and it was kind of my reward to myself once I lost the weight to create a space for myself to get more motion in.
I freaking love that. Well, you guys, I'm super excited for her to share her story because when I first met Tara, I could see so much, just so much heart, so much caring, so much giving. But all of that was clouded by this idea that she was broken. And I think that this picture like really represents where your journey of broken like really took root in you. So tell us a little bit about that story of being broken.
So I mean, it's hard to even know where that begins. I definitely, from a very early age, like was always definitely trying to be a high achiever. I wanted to be the very well behaved, very well accomplished, not always heard, seen but not heard, kind of not step on anybody's toes, did the best that I could. But no matter what, it doesn't ever seem like I was born to fit in. I was always born to stand out. And the more I tried to fit in, I feel like the more it would go the opposite direction. And just over the course of life, I collected this story that, I needed to fix myself, and I needed to go to therapy, and I needed to do all the things so that I was worthy. I did do a lot of those things, and it just still continued to make me feel more and more like I have so much room to grow and improve. And I just kind of walked around with a lot of that on my shoulders. And then eventually that started to pile on, I feel like, as weight. Like it got to a point where I was just kind of tired, and I put all my patients first, throughout my career. But in the last years in cardiac, like everybody was put in front of myself. My schedule was always crazy. I was always working crazy hours and on-call shifts and emergencies at night for, heart attacks and all kinds of stuff. And so it got to the point where I was just kind of disgusted with my lack of control over my sleep schedule and my free time and the weight that I had put on. And I just felt like the worst ever. And right there, I'm on crutches because my left leg, my tibia, which is, for the people that don't know, the tibia is the bigger bone on the bottom of your leg. It just fractured. And it just kind of happened out of nowhere. I didn't have any kind of car accident. And I ended up on crutches pretty quickly. And I ended up outside of the hospital, outside of my career pretty quickly, trying to heal. And my mom took that photo when I was getting my crutches, and I had a knee brace on, and I was wearing an outfit that was Disney themed. There's Mickey Mouse's, but I hated it because I felt so big, and I didn't want to look at the camera at all because I was so embarrassed and so frustrated. And I just felt like it was just such a low. I had probably 30 extra pounds on. My leg was now failing me for no reason. The clothes I had bought was just to make myself feel a little bit better in my own skin, but I was mad that they were so big. And I bought a flowy shirt because I didn't want it to hug all the wrong places. And so that picture was just probably the ultimate broken photo. I was in like a crappy Walmart parking lot right there in the ghetto. And I was just like, how am I here? Like my finances are in the toilet. Like I'm officially, my income has stopped. I'm on medical leave. I'm bigger than I've ever been. I hate these clothes. These crutches are from like 1980s that my mom saved, which thankfully I love her, but like I can't even buy my own crutches. Like it was awful. I
Oh
just
my
felt
gosh.
so low. And it was the
Yeah.
start of like another spiral of trying to learn how to cope and sit with my thoughts all day and like finding self-worth outside of what you placed worth on, which for me was, I had all these other things, but if I put my patients first and I scrubbed into my procedure and I just stayed in that, like that's where I had value and that's where my patients were like, thank you so much. And there was a sense of accomplishment if, you know, someone came in with a horrible heart attack and left feeling good. It was, and then outside of all of that, it was just like I had no clue what to do.
Yeah.
And it's
No clue
definitely,
what to do, no clue who you were,
yeah,
completely subscribing to a story that you were broken and
yeah,
like so broken that your damn leg broke, right?
100%. It
So
was, yeah.
broken. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But then, I mean, what happened between this first picture and this picture now? Because the one thing that you can see in this first picture on the left is you can see the thoughts of I'm broken on your face, like in
Mhm.
your eyes. Like your eyes are dull, your face is puffy. Like, yes, you're smiling, but
Yeah,
that smiling is not sparkling from the heart. And then
no.
this picture on the right, like, what happened?
So interestingly enough, that picture on the left was Valentine's Day weekend. And I've always loved Valentine's Day because I love to share the love with, like, my favorite thing was Valentine's parties at in elementary school because everybody got to enjoy it. It was a everybody inclusive type of thing. And except for this year, because the store was out of Valentine's, I send Valentine's out to all of my friends still, the little cheesy ones from the store, to my girlfriends, to my guy friends. Just, I want everyone to know that I love them and I'm thinking of them. And I happened, this left hand picture, it was, I have like a little heart headband on, and I had a Galentine's Day party at a coffee shop. This was what, pre-COVID, around 20, so this was 2019. Um, and I think only 2 people showed up out of like 20 or 30 or 40 people that I invited. And I just wanted to show up and love them. Even if only 2 people showed up, I wanted to love the 2 people. But I just did. I felt very alone. I was still trying to share love, but I felt completely the opposite in my skin. And I tried to dress myself up as much as I could. But I mean, if you look at those 2 photos now, I just see like, I feel like I'm wearing a fat suit, like Monica from Friends. Like I feel when I look at it, like they plastered all this stuff on my face. And it was just like, how on earth is that where I was? And so 2020 during quarantine is when you and I connected over the phone. And I had already had my horrible time, and now COVID hit. And I was just like done. And I said yes to this program, and I had no hope that it was going to work, but I was letting you have the hope for me. And I just said, what's the worst thing that can happen? Like, I stay in the exact same place that I am, or it gets better. Like there was no risk to me. So I just said yes and trusted the process. And since it's going on 2 years coming in spring, um, not only have I lost a lot of the weight, but like the mental weight and the emotional weight and the stories that I subscribed to. Like I feel like a totally different person, in the way now that I feel like it's not just the physical weight that you get removed, it's using the tools that help you feel more empowered and live from a place of more of an emotional integrity, like not kind of getting into those slumps where you get angry and you blame somebody or you blame yourself and you're angry and what we call below the line. I definitely now live from more of a open and curious and, how is this happening for me? And there's been such a huge shift in so many ways. And the weight was the least of those shifts, even though that's the most visible.
I feel like it was the weight of the belief that you were broken. Like
Hmm.
that weighed on you more than any physical pounds could have. And I
Hmm.
remember that day that we had that conversation, I had been thinking of you, like you'd been on my heart, and you had just subscribed to this story that I'm broken for so long. And
Hmm.
guys, I'm just going to be raw and real for a minute. They don't call me the badass love coach for nothing, right?
Hmm.
That means that I love you so much, I will get in your face
Hmm.
and serve you to your own benefit, even if it hurts your feelings. And I
Hmm.
remember that day where I was like, I am so sick and tired of hearing you be broken. Aren't you
Hmm.
sick of being broken? Like, what if the opposite story were true? What if you weren't broken?
Yeah, it was like
And
a Jillian Michaels moment that I was like dreading for a long time. I always tell my clients and my friends, I'm not Jillian Michaels, don't worry, but I will actually ask your permission. And you did. You asked my permission to be honest with you. And I was like, oh,
oh,
yes. But I was like, I don't, then the achiever and like the try to keep everybody happy. Like, I didn't want to come to the point where you had to Jillian Michaels get real with me. So I was avoiding that at all costs. Like, I'm going to do all the right things. Like, you're not going to have any reason to like pull me aside. And you did ask my permission and I did say yes. And it was definitely like a big reality check. I wasn't like angry or anything like that. It was like nobody had ever said that to me before. No one had ever said like, you're not broken, like you don't need fixing. And there was something about that that was just like i I had gone to therapy, like I've done all the things, like that has never occurred to my brain, and it just caught me off guard and kind of just definitely changed a lot of things. Like it did lift a huge weight, and it made me proceed in a way where I wasn't like holding myself back anymore and like withholding being myself and telling my story and trying to help more people, because I would get bold and then I'd get nervous, like, oh, I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. And now I don't really, I have points where I feel like I kind of just want to be by myself today, but I don't feel like, oh, I'm sorry for being myself.
boom. So embracing the idea that you weren't broken and really leaning into the fact that you are whole, you're on a
Mhm.
journey. There's always room for improvement, but that doesn't mean that you're broken or need to be fixed. It just means that you're evolving, and
Mhm.
evolution is a normal process, right?
Yeah.
And evolving to that next level, that next you, that next season doesn't mean that you're broken or that you
Mhm.
need to be fixed in order to be able to embrace your own wholeness. And because you've really stepped into that, I would love for you to share this beautiful lady with us. Whoops, that's our live. Haha.
This is my friend, my client, Justine. I love her. She has been, all of my clients have been so awesome. I appreciate them and my friends. But her journey has been so incredible. She reached out to me, just like myself and many others. Like she had her own skepticism about everything. She helped me practice learning my skills in doing a health assessment. And she kind of was like, this isn't for me, but I'll help you out. And I appreciate that. I had no expectations. But in the course of us kind of going through that, she kind of was like, well, maybe I do need a little bit of this. And eventually down the road, she out of nowhere reached out to me. I never expected it. But she kind of explained to me that there was things that I had no idea. She was no longer feeling comfortable in photos anymore. She travels all over the place. She takes photos all over the place. It's awesome to see her live out loud. But she was at a point where she wasn't feeling as comfortable to share those things. And just like a lot of us during COVID, she had gained some weight as well. And she just wanted to feel rested when she woke up in the morning, and she wanted to feel more comfortable and confident in her clothes and in her traveling photos. And she's gone on to like just blow it out of the water. It's been so incredible to watch her. Like, I thought she was beautiful before. Like, I didn't, it just, her reaching out to me was definitely a surprise, but a welcomed gift. And not only has it been amazing to watch her, and it helps me keep going as a coach and like someone contending for my own journey, but it's also strengthened our own relationship. Like, we were friends before, and I've noticed that with all of these interactions with my clients, we were friends or family before, but then getting to celebrate together and encourage each other and to go through this together, it's just such a rewarding experience, and it strengthens those bonds. And
Yeah.
she's just killing it. I mean, she's still traveling everywhere. She has a puppy. Her and her husband go on date nights, and she has energy to burn. Like, she has energy of like an 8-year-old child now. It is crazy. She can do double workouts. She can work an 8 to 10 hour day. It's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's absolutely beautiful, because I feel like you embracing your wholeness and letting yourself shine has given the people in your world permission to do so as well. And I get the privilege of being co-coach with all of your clients, and I have seen their transformations. And what you don't see in those pictures is the mess in the mind that gets transformed on the way to what you see in those photos. And I love your story, and I'm so grateful to be a part of your journey. And I'm so excited to see what you create next. And if you guys are interested in hearing more about Justine's story, I know that Tara interviewed her not too long ago. We'll go ahead and post the link to that interview in the comments of this post. And Tara, I would just love to hear from you. If there's anybody out there that is feeling broken, if they're feeling like they are looking for a place to be fixed and they've tried all the things and they just don't know what to do, what advice would you have for them?
Oh, I would definitely say, I get it. Like, I totally understand. Like, I am definitely somebody, when I started, that I did not think that this would work. And not because of all of the head trash, but like, I have a ton of food allergies. I've never been able to do a program that was set up. I had so much stuff that was like, this isn't going to work for me because, and this is an obstacle, and this is an obstacle. And I feel like if I could say yes to something and have something work, there's honestly no reason why anybody else can't, whether you have diabetes type 2 or you have an autoimmune disease or your bones don't stay together like mine don't. Like, there, I can give you 1,000 reasons. It's the holidays. um I've seen personally and with my clients that there's been no excuse or no reason or no fear that's actually been valid. And honestly, at the end of the day, like, what do you have to lose? We all try this diet and this diet and this, that. And my mom used to drink maple syrup and lemonade for a week because in the 90s or early 2000s, that was a trend. And it was like, first of all, we're not drinking maple syrup and lemonade for the rest of our life. So that's not going to work out. And that's not getting to the root of the issue. And so I feel like if you're absolutely tired of being tired, and you're tired of waking up and looking in the mirror and squeezing your pants on and limping around the house, and you actually are ready to do something about it, then I would say, like, there's no reason not to say yes. And if you're afraid that this is just one more thing in your course of history that you've tried and you failed in the past and all the things, like, that's not, regardless of what happened in the past, it doesn't define what is now. And that's not necessarily going to repeat itself, especially the way this is designed. It's not designed to be a sweepstakes, many will enter, few will win. Like, that's not how this is. This is not the sweepstakes of, one person wins the weight loss and keeps it off and everybody else has to do something in the future. So if you're ready and you're committed and you're just willing to be open-minded and trust the process, like there's no reason to put it off anymore.
Yeah. I would also say just know that you are not broken and you do not need to be fixed. It's just learning how to embrace your wholeness and allowing that to shine in this world. We love you guys so much. We're so grateful that you popped in and joined us today. Much love. Until next time.
Bye.